In a nutshell, it's a 9-year-old girl who's the only human in the entire world who can communicate with cats. Her best friend is the family pet, Scoops. Because she can understand cats, she gets to discover this whole society, underground world that cats have that humans don't know about. In a nutshell, that's what it's about. Hi, I'm Nico Colaleo, and today we're going to look at, from start to finish, how I make an Ollie Scoops cartoon. To start writing a story, I'll first write a very, very sloppy, rough outline. Take a look at this first line where it says the principal's the first one to show up at the beginning of the episode. And then I write, or Ollie and Scoops are the first to show up in an episode. So I'm writing the whole outline and then gonna go back and see what works best. Here's some gags with Julia Goldberger, and then I write, or, again, going to write out the full outline, go back and see which route works better. Once an outline is finished and I feel like it's in a good spot, I'll start writing the first draft of the script. Near the end of the script writing process, I'll punch up all the jokes and any last ideas that the story might need.
My wedding night area!
Once the script is completely finished, it's time to focus on character designs. Now, Ollie and Scoops and Julia Goldberger and a lot of the cats already have character designs, but if the script has a new character that needs designing, that's when I talk to my head designer, Natasha Weir. For this episode in particular, we do have a new character. It's Ollie's principal. This is Natasha's original design, and honestly, she's so good that a lot of the times I won't really have notes, if not maybe one or two, but there's the final version of him there. I didn't really have any notes on this guy. Sometimes I'll have her design an alt or a costume change for an episode too. Here's another alt where in this episode Ollie is wearing a sash, a Student of the Month sash through the episode. And of course, what would Ollie and Scoops be without lots and lots of cats? Here's some size charts and concept designs.
Instead of you having to handle everything all by yourself, we're running the show together! We'll be the best team the school's ever seen! If I'm not Student of the Month, I'm not the best kid in school. I'll show her. I'll show everyone.
Any chance to share my milk with the world? You'll need to try my milk tea boba next time.
Oh yeah! Woo! Ow!
I'm not afraid. Are you, Poopsie?
2 p.m. onward, photo shoot for your next Student of the Month portrait. Oh, congratulations.
I don't know. This weird girl offered me a nice big tuna salad if I hung out with her. But I haven't seen dime one.
Once all the voice cast is recorded, then it goes to the radio play. This means taking all the voice actors' takes, picking out the best ones, and lining up the whole episode of all the dialogue. This is where I go through the takes and pick the best one. So here are 3 of her takes of the same line here.
Scoops, we just gotta have that sweet pizza pie. Scoops, we just gotta have that sweet pizza pie. Scoops, we just gotta have that sweet pizza pie.
And so in the actual episode, it looks like I went with the first one.
Scoops, we just gotta have that sweet pizza pie.
Now I get as many takes of Mike Stoklasa saying, "Oh my God," as I want.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
From the start of an episode all the way till it's completed, all editing for an Ollie and Scoops episode takes place in Adobe Premiere. Here's my workstation, and this is pretty much where an episode is born, gets worked on, and then gets released. Once the radio play is finished, I send it to the storyboard artist, and they start boarding the episode. Here's an example of a thumbnail or rough pass of a storyboard for an episode. As you can see, the drawings are basically just there to get the idea across so I can give my notes on staging and camera angles and stuff like that. And even this board here, it's rough, but it's still really fun and funny. And here's what a storyboard will look like once it's finished. All the roughs are cleaned up and extra poses and character acting is added. Also, these red and green boxes will indicate a camera move to me, which I'll use as a guide. And once I give final approval on the storyboard, all the panels get sent to me as JPEGs, and then I start editing the episode by building the Animatic. As a professional editor, this is one of my favorite parts of making Ollie and Scoops. The animatic stage is where I take the storyboards and the voice actors' dialogue and pretty much build the skeleton of the episode. This includes figuring out all the timing, cutting unneeded lines or bits, and adding sound effects and music. For sound effects, I have a massive library on my home computer of sound effects from pretty much every major Hollywood studio. For music, whenever we have an original song in the show, a specific piece will be composed by one of a couple musician friends of mine, and for all other music, I'll use APM or a few other online libraries that I pay to use. Here's a finished animatic, and this is what my premiere timeline looks like for one episode. Pretty bulky. The finished animatic plays like a comic book with audio.
Hi, I'm Ollie. I'm a big, greasy dork with a fat, stupid cat. Hiya, Scoops.
Once the animatic is locked, I export each scene and send them out to the animators. It depends on the episode's length, but usually I have between 5 and 8 animators on an Ollie and Scoops episode. When the animators get to work, they basically draw and animate over the animatic clip. As the animators send me finished animation, I import every frame from a scene and I place it onto a layer above the animatic scene. As you can see, the animation lines up perfectly with the animatic. As all the animation's completed and I lay it all into the timeline, at the same time my background artists are working on the episode's backgrounds. Here's some great backgrounds from the show. Backgrounds are worked on pretty much at the same time as the animators work on animating. Once backgrounds get finished, I edit them with the finished animation for every shot. This process is the shot compositing. Sometimes compositing can get tricky if a character interacts with an element of the background, like walking through a doorway or sitting behind a table. This is where I need to go in and adjust things so everything looks natural. Yes, doing stuff like this for every shot can take days. It's work, but it's fun work. After all the shots are finished being composited, I'll go through and do a big final edit of the episode. This is just adding any last sound effects needed, color correction, any last little cuts, or fine-tuning some timing here and there. And when that's all done, look at that, a finished Ollie and Scoops episode. And that's how Ollie and Scoops is made. Hope you had a fun time watching and maybe even learned a thing or two. Also, unfortunately, there's some stuff missing from this video, like I didn't get a chance to record all the voice actors, especially Eric Bauza, who voices Scoops, but there's always a chance in the future that I can release more behind-the-scenes stuff. Anyway, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we try to get a new Ollie and Scoops episode out every month or two, so there is tons more fun in store. Stay tuned, and thanks for watching.